The clock is ticking. The third tale has been announced and a new update is on the way, which means we have to finish Signal Void, complete Buried Echoes, both of which presumably have to happen before this new update. By the way, that update's going to be here within a month. Life just got even more interesting than the last time we did an episode in this series. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. So I'm going to turn right around and leave here because the only reason I was in that particular cabin is that I needed a save. But for those of you who need a quick refresher of where we are leaving Blackrock and beelining to Hushed River Valley. But before we leave Blackrock, it's funny, since I've been working on Signal Void, but trying to, survive and make sure that I can finish these steps and have everything I need in order to guarantee that we can go through not only Signal Void, but the subsequent tale in this playthrough, once we get to the Zone of Contamination and all the stuff that was added in the previous patch. Because I've been kind of doing all of that, I've had a lot of before we do that, we're going to do this. Before we do that, we're going to do this. And so I hear the sound of my own voice as I say, we're going to go straight to Hushed River Valley, but this time, the but first is just not forgetting the bear hide that I set aside to cure. So we're going to walk down this road. You might recall that it's been a few weeks, but you might recall at the end of the last episode, I kind of looked down the road to see what I could find. Oh, that is a bear. Speaking of bears. Hi. I was just thinking, wouldn't it be funny if there was an animal here somewhere that posed a significant threat? Did I hit him? I don't think I actually hit him. Well, hit him that time. Is it because I... Oh, you know what? That's why. Yeah, of course. Of course. I think I'm at rifle... Yeah. So I did hit him. I'm just so used to judging whether I hit the bear by seeing the skill increase. I'm so used to that. It's a very rare playthrough where I actually hit rifle 5. But here we are. Close to 100 days, too. Which is wild.
Did I say I hate being cold? Because I really do.
You mentioned it. You did. But anyway, there is a bear hide that I would like to retrieve. We killed a bear earlier in our adventures in this particular zone. And I decided to skin it. And I decided to leave the hide in a cave. And I am reasonably confident, question mark, that I know how to get back to... Oh, dear. The timing of some words, let me tell you. Oh, no. Is it even... Can I even... Is this even... I don't think... Okay, well, that was chef's kiss timing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to have to find a way around this. It looks like there might be something up here. But what I was actually talking about was something even farther down the road. On the other side of the zone. I don't think I can get up here. I don't think this is happening. I'm still going to try. I'd be mad at myself if I didn't try. Can I maybe get up here? Maybe? 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 See, this little bit, I can get a little higher. Okay, maybe not. Okay, I'm clearly not meant to go this way. So, the actual point of confusion that I was talking about was farther down the road. Is that really completely blocked off? Yeah, it is. It really is. It looks like it has a tunnel through it. But I forgot that this was completely blocked off. Again, Blackrock is one of the zones that I've probably spent like the least amount of time in overall. Okay, this looks promising. Okay. Just kidding. It's a joke. So, once I get past this, then I'll actually reach the point that I was talking about. Which is, you know, I'm reasonably confident that I know, like, if I just go farther down the road and don't hit a massive landslide, I'll be able to just find my way back to the cave. And then double back and head for the exit. And then to HRV. And we are genuinely, at that point, going to beeline to HRV. I just need the freaking bear hide first. Okay, so I need to remember how to hecking get around this. Because it seems like going this direction was one massive waste of time. I had completely forgotten that this landslide was here. Oh, is this tree pointing the way, perhaps? Is it pointing to something useful? No, of course not. Why would I expect that? Definitely doesn't happen in any other circumstance in the Long Dark. Hasn't been mentioned by the developers as literally being something they do. Why would I think that? Okay. Maybe this way? Okay, that doesn't look passable. I'm still going to try it. Hello? Maybe? No. Okay. See, what's funny about this is, you know, I've said from the very beginning, and I'm still saying, that the entire purpose of doing the Season 0 runs... Oh, wow, yeah. Went in a complete circle here. We're back to where we started. The purpose is to, you know, learn more about the maps and find out more. Okay, so I guess we were meant to go this way. My bad. You know what? Let me turn back and warm up. But yeah, the entire purpose of these runs was to learn more about the maps. But it's funny because now there's a sense of, like, I want to try and get as much done every episode as I can. Because this new update's coming out. So, let's sleep for like an hour. Should be enough to warm up. Fingers crossed. 99 days, 39 minutes. Heck yes. Alright, so we'll have to keep an eye on food. But we are more than fine resource-wise, I have to say. So a few people have commented that they're looking forward to hearing my thoughts on what's been announced in the next update. And so far, I think the most interesting feature that's being added, well, it's honestly kind of hard to choose. Because we have the next tale, true enough, like that's, you know, another kind of narrative adventure like we've been doing with Signal Void that is in Sandbox. And apparently it will connect in some ways. It'll provide some context. I know that I'm not necessarily going the way I need to go, but I just wanted to explore for a bit. Oh, this actually kind of worked out. It'll provide some context for the 5th chapter of the Long Dark story mode. So it will have some kind of interwoven elements, which, that's kind of cool. So there is that, but arguably, those are not the biggest features. The biggest features are really threefold. First is they're adding the Cougar. That's happening in the next update to the Long Dark. It's happening. They've talked about it for years. The Cougar is coming to the Long Dark. If you somehow missed that, now you know. And it sounds like, well, I'll talk more about it in just a second. So that's the first thing, right? Hang on, let me make sure I'm not getting myself into trouble here. I may have already gotten myself into trouble, but we'll see if I can get myself out of it. This feels familiar. I feel like this happened to me last time I was in Blackrock. Yeah, this could be a problem. What I'm doing right here. Okay, that might be the way down. I'll find out in a minute. Yeah, it's definitely the way down. Okay. That's fun. Oh boy. I don't like the length of this fall. Can I maybe... There we go. 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 Come on, sweetheart. There we go. Sweet. Okay. Exhale. So there's the Cougar that's been added. Also, did that actually help us? Is that the other side of the cave-in? Yes, it is. Beautiful. Okay. Perfect. We are exactly on the other side of the cave-in. So there's the Cougar. That's the first thing. The second thing is they're adding what is called Misery mode, which is a mode beyond Interloper, which is amusing to me just to begin with, because you'll recall that Interloper was originally added as a post-Stalker difficulty mode after the game, nice, hunting knife, after the game had been out in early access for years and people had gotten really good, and they were saying, hey, we want the game to be even more punishing. So Misery seems to be a mode that's almost designed to cater to the Nogoa crowd and the other really challenge-focused Interloper players, where it's like, not only are we going to play Interloper, but we're going to impose rules on ourselves that the game does not even let us impose in like custom settings in order to make it even more ridiculous. And that's been, you know, a huge part of the community and like a source of a lot of fun, not only for a number of players, but content creators as well, for years now. And it seems like Misery mode is sort of geared toward throwing those players a bone, providing a mode that is even more challenging than default Great Bear, which is wild to think about. But what's unique about Misery mode, well, maybe I won't talk too much about that. The final thing, is that they're adding, and this is the thing that I have really, it raised my eyebrow when I saw it. I was like, that's different. It's a system called Cheat Death. Now hold on, wait a minute. Don't panic. The game will still have permadeath, kind of. And I'm assuming Cheat Death will be a toggleable option in like custom settings. I'm certainly hoping it is. But the Long Dark has always had a system where, all right, I can cross here. Do I need to explore over there before I cross though? Yeah, let me go back this way and see what's over there. Because it's been a while since I was in Blackrock, and like I said, I do want to make sure that I remind myself of the lay of the land. Let me go back this way and just see what's up for a second. So the game will still have permadeath. But when you die, you'll be given an option. Do you want to die, like you always have, or do you want to cheat death? And you'll be able to cheat death up to 4 times. So you'll have 5 lives in total. The final death, the 5th death, is permadeath. Each time you cheat death, there will be a penalty. You'll be able to go back and get your stuff, but the game will get harder within the confines of the difficulty that you had already created for yourself, so it will get even harder because of the penalty that's imposed. And perhaps these penalties are somewhat similar to the penalties that you'll see imposed in Misery mode over time. And then when you die the final time, you're still dead. So there is still a sense of permadeath, but now there's a sense of second chance. And I will be honest, I still don't know how I feel about that. Which is not a criticism, I'm just saying I still don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. The Long Dark has always been characterized by, you know, this brutally punishing. Think about the name of this series, Against All Odds. It was originally named when the game was relatively new to early access, and we were all enjoying this feeling of like surviving against all odds for the first time. And now it turns out that we'll have the opportunity to cheat death, but at a cost. So it's not simply cheating death in terms of like you get to skip out on permadeath, because there is a penalty and there is still permadeath, but you can delay it. You can compensate for mistakes. You can avoid... I think one of the most potentially satisfying things about it, to play devil's advocate to my own kind of judgment at the moment, one of the most satisfying things about it is that if something really stupid happens, you will be able to kind of take the L, but keep going. Like, oh man, that sucks, but I can keep playing. Which I kind of like that. And maybe I will grow to love it. For now, it's just a really big difference, because we can all agree, I'm sure, that like one of the main draws of this game has always been the permanent sense of death. Let's sleep for an hour real quick. And now that's no longer going to be the case. So that's a huge change. And again, I don't know, I can't remember if the patch notes mentioned whether or not that system would be toggleable in custom settings. I would imagine that it will be. It's very difficult to imagine that not being an option because, God, I mean, the team, Raphael, like, they know what they're changing by changing that. It's a big freaking deal that all of a sudden we'll have a second chance by default in the long dark, and a third chance, and a fourth chance. Like, that's wild. And a fifth, I suppose, because the fifth chance is the last, with the first being the initial spawn at the start of the game. So, that's one thing. The Cougar, on first pass, when I read the description of how the Cougar is actually going to work, you know what it reminded me of? Tell me if you kind of agree about this, or if you thought about this too. I haven't read too much discourse on the Cougar yet in the community. I've been freaking busy with things that I can't quite talk about entirely, or at all. But I've been busy. The Cougar is kind of like the Darkwalker. Yeah. Because the way that it works is it's not just a predator that can randomly jump you anytime. No, it's actually a system. Much like Cabin Fever was a system, not just a debuff, not just a condition. Cabin Fever was implemented to address a specific, not really exploit, well, in some ways it was, but like, it was designed to target the playstyle that really allowed players to like stay in one particular base for long periods of time and rack up their like time survived to obscene levels. That's why Cabin Fever's in the game. No kidding, that's why it's in the game. Hang on, there could be Timberwolves around here. I need to be careful. There could be Timberwolves. I know where I am now. We're actually very near the exit. Could be Timberwolves through there, or possibly through here. I don't know how widely they patrol. But we'll be able to take a pit stop up here and possibly check for some more loot. Oh, there's a cave back there too. Let's check it out. So, instead, the way that the Cougar is going to work, rather than being just a predator that walks around, it's going to be a mechanic. When you have lingered in one zone too long, not just one location like Cabin Fever, but when you've lingered in one zone too long, the game will start to telegraph to you that a Cougar has moved into the area. You'll start to hear things. You'll start to notice things. Cues that you pick up on, kind of like we've learned to pick up on bear crows and moose scratchings on tree trunks, all of that. I might need a fire in a second, so let me go ahead and grab this firewood. I'm going to take this across the road, because I think, yeah, I'm kind of low on water. So that wood might help me get some water to keep moving. Just watching for those wolves. I think I'm good. I think the wolves stay very squarely on the far side of, like, kind of over there, but they are here, so I'm just trying to be mindful of that. Or at least I think they are. It might be the pack that I killed earlier and I just don't realize it. I've killed a couple of Timberwolf packs since I came here. Been having a good time since I actually have rifle ammo and high rifle skill. But yeah, you will start to receive signals from the game to kind of say, hey, there's a Cougar moving into the area, and it is starting to issue warnings. It is starting to let you know that you're in its territory. And then the Cougar can jump you out of nowhere. Now, this is the part that we've all kind of anticipated before we even knew that it would be a mechanic like this. We always thought, okay, well, it's a wildcat. It's going to sneak up on you. You will not be able to see it coming like you can see a wolf coming. You won't know that you're about to get jumped, and if you are going to save yourself, then maybe even kill the Cougar, you're going to have to be very, very nimble in terms of your reflexes. That is still true. They have disclosed that it is possible, in the moment the Cougar is actually attacking, to defend yourself. So it's not like the Darkwalker, where once the Darkwalker catches you, you're just dead. It's not quite like that. But it's interesting because it's not a just wandering predator the way that we might have always expected that it would be. And I'm curious for your thoughts on that. We can discuss it in the comments, we can discuss it in the Discord. I'm really curious to see what people think about it. Alright, so here's a fire barrel. I will probably leave this wood here. Oh, you know what? I've got some reclaimed wood as well. Let's drop that too. So those are the three main additions. There's going to be Cheating Death, there's going to be the Cougar, and there's going to be the new game mode, Misery. Which of those do you find the most interesting? And what are your thoughts, not only on, my comments and just reflections on it so far, as well as just what are your own thoughts? How are we feeling about this? I personally think overall it sounds like an awesome update. I've had pretty optimistic, generally pretty optimistic take on all of Tales the whole time. Because I think, as I've said from the beginning, what they've kind of done with Tales is poll the community on what kind of updates, what kind of paid updates they would most be willing to support. And they really tailored what they gave us to what we said we wanted. And then they released that. Now, there have been some hiccups. It hasn't come out at the cadence that was originally planned. But the updates that have arrived have generally been quite good. So, even if there are aspects of, for example, the cheat death mechanic that sound kind of jarring and different from what we've come to expect from the Long Dark, overall, I'm excited, truth be told. I genuinely am curious to see how this goes. But if you disagree, or have additional thoughts, let's talk about it, because like I said, I've been busy, so maybe I'm just being selfish right now. I've been busy and haven't had the opportunity. One second, let's see here. We have that ruined condensed milk. I should definitely consume that before I put it anywhere. Let's do that. Haven't had the opportunity to really dig into the community-wide discourse. So, let's talk about it here. So that we can just get a sense of how our community is feeling about it. And eventually, of course, I will have a chance to dive into other thoughts on it. But it sounds really good. Okay, let's step outside. So far, so good. We're now in the part of the zone. Oh boy. Okay, how am I doing on water? I have two things, not one, but two cans of Pinnacle Peaches. Okay? So, that's water right there. And then I have the 0.2 gallons of water already. So, of course, we have this transmitter, which we didn't need to repair. Because this time there was nothing going on in Blackrock. That's funny though, so it makes me wonder if indeed there's like a randomization to the transmitters you have to repair. I remember talking about that earlier in the series, maybe even in Series 0, as opposed to 01. And I felt pretty confident that it was the same zones every time, but maybe it's not, because there's definitely a transmitter tower here. So maybe there's some randomness to it, and I've just gotten lucky and gotten the same objectives a couple of times in a row. See that bunny over there? That bunny, whenever I see it, always reminds me of when I was like, hey, that was one of the first times that I was like proven wrong about my whole, not only proven wrong, but proven wrong on camera in real time, shortly after I said the thing that I was proven wrong about, which is, hey, if you see, you know, deer or, you know, peaceful wildlife walking around in a general area, you can probably assume that there are no predators. Also happened pretty recently in Timberwolf. Remember that? On Timberwolf Mountain, there was a wolf, like very near either a bunny or a deer, and the wolf was just chilling. So that was interesting. So this is the road that I was mentioning, kind of needing to go back down, and hopefully I'll find my way back to the mine. I think it's pretty likely we'll also encounter... Oh, there's a prop deer up there. We'll also encounter some timberwolves, unless I really have killed most of the timberwolves in this zone, which is possible. But yeah, that bunny back there definitely got eaten by a timberwolf shortly after I declared that entire mechanic, which is hilarious. Not a mechanic at all. I mean, it's not that there's nothing to it, but it's not as reliable as I would have liked to think. Okay, so that, I believe, is the entrance. Or the exit. That'll lead back to Pleasant Valley.
I'll take it.
Hello? Hi. Found the Timberwolves. Okay. Great. 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 Wonderful. Timberwolves is dead. I think there's still one up. Well then, welcome back to the Long Dark, Hadrian. What is through this arch? I'm going to stay on the road because I would like to find my way back to that particular bear hide. That is my main objective, but I'm nervous about that fork there. I think that's what leads back to Pleasant Valley. Alright, so this leads to the penitentiary. What? Excuse me? Oh, that's right. Okay. Okay. So if this goes to the penitentiary, which way? Maybe that road is the way I need to go. Okay. This, as I expected, right as we were running into that bear at the beginning of the episode, this is not going as smoothly as I would have thought. Alright, so we're headed towards the penitentiary. Hopefully this sign up here will point towards the mine. Mine. Perfect. Beautiful. So the penitentiary's that way. The mine's this way. So this is the road that I wanted to find. It's still mostly playing out, let me not jinx it completely, but it's still mostly playing out the way that I kind of assumed or remembered that it would. I hear footsteps. I hear footsteps. I'm going to go ahead and assume there's at least one more Timberwolf pack here. We still have 70 rifle rounds, despite going ham on Timberwolves and a bear this episode. This is why I made a point to come to Blackrock, okay? Despite the fact that we are on the clock, and are now even more on the clock with this update having been announced. This is why.
I can't feel my hands.
And I do not feel bad about it. Because we have 70 rifle rounds. Thank you very much. Okay. There's a cartridge casing. That's hilarious. Thank you, game. Thank you so much. Needed that. Just kidding. Didn't need it. Take it back. Alright, there's some mittens. Don't need those because I have gauntlets. Don't have mucklucks, though. Which makes me sad. But okay. Oh man, my memory of this. There's more Timberwolves. Oh my goodness. Remember when I was like, just a second ago, hey, I wonder if I killed all the Timberwolves. Ha! Oh, how naive. Okay. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if that was literally the last pack. So we're going to veer in here. Seems like a storm might be coming too, which is less than ideal. But if I continue down this road, we should find our way back to the bear hide, which should be completely cured. Or at the very least, like, mostly cured by now. Oh wow, there's actually... looks like there's a lot more here than I thought. And there's a coal bin as well. Okay, this is going to be a decent place to actually take a bit of a break. Is that a bed? Nice. Wow, okay. So in terms of... can we just acknowledge, like, in terms of facilitated rest and, like, places out in the world where you can sleep protected from the wind, and specifically of those places that are barns, like this, especially dilapidated barns, this is probably one of the best in the game that I've seen. Holy crap. Okay. I'm going to use some accelerant because I can.
Right on.
Going to pile that coal on there. We now have a 6-hour fire. And we can sleep here. We don't even have to... oh, wow, a jerry can. Nice. Okay, hold on. Let's refuel. I don't even think we were hurting for lantern fuel particularly. Oh, yeah, that's right. Hang on. Somebody asked a question. Oh, yeah. Interesting. I've been carrying the other revolver this whole time. Somebody asked a question in the comments, hey, are you going to keep the other revolver? And I was like, no. Pretty sure I dropped it. No, I did not. No, I did not. But now I've dropped it. Okay. So we've got 6 hours, and of course, since it's an outdoor fire, it will last longer than that. Let me go ahead and take some time to put some more fuel on this, because if we can really get... no, I didn't mean to do that at all. That's completely counterproductive. That does the opposite of what I just wanted to do, which is add fuel to the fire. Rude. If I can get this fire up a little bit hotter, I can recover more health just here in this particular spot. Need to be mindful of those timber wolves because they're not far from here. Matter of fact, they might even be quite close. They are not far at all. Lots of sticks on the ground, which I'm liking. It is appreciated. Game giving me ominous music just to make me nervous for no reason whatsoever. Let's break that down. And we're still... oh, nice. Here's a few more. I honestly thought the Timberwolves would be kind of back there a little bit, and they probably are, but they're just slightly out of view or maybe patrolling to a different spot. All right, there's a deer over there. Hang on, before I go in completely, you know, it could be worthwhile to go ahead and grab the meat off that prop deer. So let's do that, because I know the fire's going. And it's just 2 pounds. It'll take 6 minutes. Not much more time than is needed to harvest a stick. Or a branch, I should say.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Oh dear. I actually can't run. I'm carrying more sticks than I thought I was. Alright, I need to get inside quickly. It's kind of annoying, because I was counting on being able to sprint back into cover and get the meat out of my inventory. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright. Let's place that. There's one thing that I hope the update fixes. The count of the sticks being overlaid with the condition of the sticks. Yeah. Not a fan of that, gotta say. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and eat these pinnacle peaches. We're at a pretty good stopping point here. Just want to make sure that I am good before I sleep. 30 minutes till ready. Yeah, sure.
The sun is setting.
Let's go ahead and eat that.
Colder soon.
That's not going to be the whole thing. I can put the remainder on the ground. Still got 10 hours, quote-unquote, on the fire. Let's sleep now for... I'm going to go ahead and drink some water. And we'll have time to make some more before I leave this fire, most likely. But let's sleep for 6, and that will be a good save point to end the episode on. In the next one, I'm going to continue in the direction, now that I don't have a giant freaking landslide, rock slide, collapse on top of the road, whatever you want to call it. Now that I don't have that to deal with, or a bear in the way, I just have Timberwolves in the way, which is apparently not a problem either. But once I get past those, it's just a matter of grabbing the bear hide, coming back to that fork in the road, and then heading back into Pleasant Valley. I'll need to take a quick inventory of where I might have left various inventory stashes so I don't forget anything super important, but that shouldn't be too difficult. And then it's just a matter of getting straight back to Mystery Lake from Pleasant Valley, going straight back. Well, I do remember discussing, do I go back to Coastal Highway first? But since we're kind of on the clock, I think I might beeline to finish, to Milton and to HRV, and then maybe come back to Coastal Highway if I need to. So that's, I don't know. There's a part of me that wants to finish Signal Void as quickly as possible, and I feel like it would behoove me to go straight to Mystery Lake from Pleasant Valley. That's also a path I haven't taken yet, so it would give me the opportunity to explore an area that I haven't. Having said that, once we've done that, it's a matter of getting straight back to the Far Territory and taking care of Buried Echoes, which I think takes place entirely within the zone of contamination, if I remember correctly from the way they kind of described it, but that might not be correct, because I haven't played it, just like I haven't played Signal Void before. So I'm very excited to see what the resolution of Signal Void is, and that will be in the coming episodes, assuming I can move quickly. And then after that, Buried Echoes, and then after that, around the same time, honestly, this is going to be in rapid succession, we're going to have a brand new update to play in, and possibly a new series to start as well, depending on how this one kind of goes and where we're at in this one. It's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges, look for the join button. New episodes drop at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time every day but Wednesday, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.